The culture at this business is ingrained. This is the one thing that Lobina talk about, is the culture. It's getting everybody to think the same and work together.
It's all about earning people's trust, I think. We never say trust us, we say we'll earn it.
There is no such thing as a bad day.
There might be to us, but to customers,
and to the
we're
team.
always trying to give them the best possible outcome of any situation.
Everybody will know something really well.
Yeah.
But together, we'll know everything.
You know, hopefully with these conversation stuff, we will show people where it's going and people will find out. How do you feel about that?
Excited.
This is enabling the world to look into the life of Lobina, and logistics isn't just all about moving a boring box.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your role and what does a typical day look like for you?
So when I wake up in the morning, I always like to check in with Poland.
Yeah.
Just I always, sometimes I do it in the chat, sometimes I speak to them privately, check in just to see if everything's okay, see what's happening.
Yeah.
And I go to the gym, and then when I get to the office and start my role, first things first, I have to see what problems I'm dealing with, if there's anything on my desk.
Yeah.
I am head of business development. My fundamental role is obtaining new customers for the business whilst maintaining the relationships that we've got.
My typical role is waking up in the morning, taking the dog for a walk, and coming to the office, having a presence.
So do you not have as much to do with the day-to-day operations now?
Not really, unless I'm involved in a particular job.
I'm a transport operator. Every day is different.
We don't know what we're going to walk into, whether it's a good problem, bad problem,
Yeah.
request, quiet.
Then one day, a huge job will pop in, and then everyone's excited, rushing around.
Where my office is, I can hear what's going off.
Okay.
So, and sometimes you just want to butt in, but I'm learning not to. I'm tempted to go upstairs. Me and Luigi keep discussing him to have my office, me to go upstairs.
Okay.
But I don't want to. I don't want to let go, if that makes sense. The fear of missing out, shall I say? Probably that. And not only that, I also, if I know Luigi's there at 7 o'clock in the morning, I wouldn't be there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does make sense.
So it's more of a presence than anything.
I also have the title of Special Projects Manager as well.
Okay.
Which is what brings me here with Richard. We've got the new division starting, so I'm effectively his right-hand assistant. Yeah.
How long have you both been with Lobina?
Ooh, it'll be 3 years this September.
Okay. You enjoying it?
I am, yeah. It's very different to my last job, I'll say that.
In what way?
In terms of, I don't know, all of it really. People, the kind of job, because before I was in retail, which is not the best. But it's a start, and it taught me how to communicate with people every day, which is what I brought here.
I think with retail as well, you get to speak to so many different people, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think it's great experience to work in retail, to, solve problems, talk to people.
Yeah, for sure.
Within 2 or 3 days of being at the business, very early stages, not really knowing how to turn my computer on properly.
Yeah.
In those first couple of days, I really understood what the business meant, that real family feel, that real drive of excellence. And that was a real eye-opener for me. I'd never quite experienced an onboarding process of being a new employee in such a positive way. Definitely.
I think it's good seeing a kind of new, fresh perspective. I think anyone coming into the company and seeing...
It's breathed a bit of new life into me, to be honest.
Okay.
I have to say, joining this company has really sort of shown me that there is still some good people in the world, and there is some good ideas and some excitement.
That's important. That's
it really
vital.
is, and you feel that in the office. Everybody is invested.
Yeah.
That's a real benefit. That's a real plus for me.
Simon brought me here. I think it was 16. Yeah, 16. Did I ask you?
Yeah, I think you asked me, and I said no way.
Did you have a reservation about working with Nico initially?
No, I always looked at Nico, and as my son, shall we say, it was more, if you come in, Nico, you're in from the start, shall I say.
And how has he done?
He's done really good. Coming in when they're young,
Yeah.
And even Luigi, you could say as well, they're all young and they're doing a man's job very quickly, shall we say.
Yeah, kind of heated environment straight away.
It's very easy to burn, shall we say, and crash. Because after all, they have got massive responsibilities.
It's a very enthusiastic time for me and a very exciting time for me personally.
Okay.
To have joined a company that are willing to take some risks in development, take some challenges, take some directions that they've never really been in before. And the trust that the company shows in me as well is really exciting and encouraging. I've been at the company for 5 weeks and I feel like I've been here 5 years.
Okay.
The feeling that I've got, I feel like I get a virtual hug every time I walk in the office. It's a really great feeling, and it's really made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, to be honest.
How would you describe the environment at Lobina? So I'm trying to understand the culture, and we're sort of trying to work out what is it that makes Lobina different or unique?
The thing I love most about it from when I first started and from even when I had the interview, they spoke about how the kind of family business side of it.
Yeah.
Like, so for example, I'm from a family where I'm one of 6, my mum's one of 5. So there's that, I don't know, vibe all the time where people are rubbing off each other and it's all good. And it's the same thing in the office all the time.
Okay. So does it make you feel at home?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I think that's why I like it so much.
Lobina is a family-driven business. They're very tight. They're very talkative. Everyone, knows what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a really productive environment. You can feel that within the business.
Me and Richard were having a conversation on the phone last night, and a phrase that Richard said a few times since he's been here is, it's just a box. I'm just moving a box. But I think the Lobina way in him is probably now realised that every box we move is a mission.
Okay.
We're not a courier as such. We're not delivering your ASOS order.
Yeah.
Everything's a mission.
That's it.
And everybody will play their role in that mission in some way.
There's a real linear learning, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's
really
a culture of linear learning, I think. So everybody knows what's going on. And that's important.
And that's the benefit with Lobina as well. I've seen it in my early days here that a customer can phone in, and no matter who you talk to, 9 times out of 10, that person is aware of the shipment, knows the current status, and can always assist.
Okay.
And I think that is a real USP for Lobina, to be able to have that transparency and knowledge between the whole staff.
We've spoken a lot about trust in the company and the culture of Lobina. I know trust is incredibly important to Simon.
Yeah.
You get one chance with Simon.
It's the key to life.
It is.
If you don't have trust in another person, you can't have that open, honest relationship.
Yeah, and I think at Lobina, I see a culture that welcomes that and allows that to flourish and for people to be able to say what's on their mind. You've got quite a nice thing going on at Lobina.
Yeah, I would say so.
Right.
Yeah. Do you feel kind of happy, kind of content at work?
100%.
Yeah.
Like you said before, I'm just happy to be there. It's a nice place to be, work and thrive, be better.
Yeah.
But I can honestly, hand on heart, say I don't think anybody would trudge to the front door Monday morning, 9 a.m. Oh, it's Monday morning. I think everybody skips to that door.
Okay,
and
that's brilliant.
That's the culture that's been formed in the business.
And why is that then? What is it that drives them? Is it the thought of seeing their work colleagues,
Definitely
their work
not
friends?
That. Don't get me wrong. It's a pressured environment. We're dealing with a lot of high ticket customers, a lot of high ticket items. There's a lot of risk involved, but it's enjoyable.
It's exciting as well.
It's exciting for 2 reasons. One of which you're assisting the customers, and secondly, it's fun. What the environment that we've created is an environment that you want to be in.
Yeah,
it's fun loving. It's serious when it needs to be, but we can have a laugh when we need to.
How did you make it a happy office? Because you obviously have done.
It's changed a lot, hasn't it?
It's changed a hell of a lot now, because we're not a small team of 4, shall we say?
No, exactly.
So is everybody pleased with every other? There's always somebody disagreeing with somebody. And so you got to quickly be there to put the fire out, shall we say?
Yeah.
And that's only going to get harder and harder and challenging as we grow, I expect, if that makes sense.
And I think it's probably an onus on all of you to try and keep that sense of family, that sense of you all being together.
work is an extension of home, or home is an extension of work. That's how we like to try and see it.
If you go home at night, you can always think of ways to feel offended, shall I say, if that makes sense. I'm sure everybody can feel that in the office.
Yeah.
But it's wrong to use the word, but if you f***ed up, don't cover it up.
Yeah.
Shout out so we can fix it.
Don't try and
We're
hide
always going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
I've always said that, because at the end of the day, we're not a computer, or especially now what they're all going through with so many emails. If I look at my inbox now, unread 22,450.
You must have days or moments where it's stressful or quite pressured.
We had a shipment that landed on, no pun intended, on Richard's desk in his first week.
Okay.
Oh, yes, we did.
And he literally said to me, I can't believe you've given me this shipment, this product to this location. And what did I say? There's always a way.
There's always a way.
And you know what? You were buzzing, weren't you?
Yeah.
Because we did it and you realise the capabilities.
Yeah, it really opened my eyes. I was hoping for a slightly easier test on shipment one. It was a challenging test, to say the least. There was a few unforeseen hurdles that came up. The customer never really noticed any major delay to their timeline.
Okay.
And, we delivered as promised. And it opened my eyes to the full capabilities of what Lobina are able to achieve.
Yeah.
Freya doesn't feel pressure.
Not
Really?
necessarily.
Freya doesn't feel pressure. No.
Okay. That's
She's
interesting.
stable.
Yeah.
She's the stability in the office.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that then?
I think it's same again. I'm just used to having a lot of chaos around me, so I just kind of know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
That sets Freya aside.
Okay.
When people are throwing staplers across the office,
Yeah.
Freya's fine with that. Freya's the one that's picking them up. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's almost like having a younger brother or sister just doing something and you're like, okay, it's just happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freya's got a good ability to block out the noise.
Yeah, so because it is quite a noisy environment, and today, for example, Luigi had his children there.
Yeah.
They're drawing, they're running about as kids do. That could be very distracting. Do you just zone that out?
I don't zone it out, because when they come in, I like to say hello and interact with them.
Yeah.
Like they are my little brothers.
Yeah. Well, you see them grow, don't you?
Yeah.
And I think that's just the point right there. In a lot of family businesses, it's them, the family, and us, the non-family.
Okay.
Here, it doesn't matter if you're family by blood. You work for Lobina, you're the family.
Do you think family businesses are perceived differently than to a non-family business?
I believe they are, yeah. I believe that family businesses are small fry, or perceived as being small fry.
Yeah.
Family businesses given that mistag for sure.
Yeah. And yet you guys seem to own that. You don't shy away from it, or you don't try and hide that. It's like actually there's a pride that comes from that, it seems.
Yeah. And I think for me, that's because the morals and the ethics of the family translate into the business.
Okay.
Fun, togetherness, and you'll see that with the Lobina family at home, and you'll see it in the office as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a facade. It's not they're different at work. They're judged by different beliefs in the office than at home. It's exactly the same.
Everyone is so friendly.
Yeah.
Everyone's very knowledgeable, and they all know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just a really healthy, happy environment to work in, which, again, only ends up delivering a better product for the customer.
Of course it does.
And we're probably going off piece a little bit here, but another good story I'll give you. Yesterday, we had a mission come in, and Richard just kind of sat back in his chair and just laughed and went, "Good luck." And that's nothing negative against Richard, and he wasn't being negative. I think that was just the way that he'd been cultured previously, that to some missions you'd just say no.
Yeah.
And he was like almost a little bit smug, almost.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour later I rang you and says, "Done it, mate, sorted, no
I
problem."
was egg on face moment.
Okay.
I really didn't think that they'd solved the problem that was created. And I was very happily surprised and really infused by the end result. And still now this morning, I woke up this morning and thought, how did they do that?
That's brilliant.
And it's a learning curve for me as well. It's that, and that's I think the key in this company is that, as I said before, if you don't specifically have either a previous experience in a specific task, there's somebody around you that has.
Yeah.
And as a team, the team delivered yesterday, and it was amazing to watch that all come together, and that end result of presenting that offer to the customer and the customer being over the moon with the service that we provide. So.
It's a good environment to be in. And I know you have pressures, you have tensions and everything. You seem to be able to handle those brilliantly.
Yeah.
I think from what I can tell, there's a supportive environment though.
Yeah.
Nobody's harbouring resentments or holding grudges. It's like, yeah, something happens, but then you move on.
Everything's been predetermined. Yeah. Everything's been pre-planned. We've stress tested everything, and we, 99% confident that everything's going to go right.
Yeah.
We're in the logistics world. Unforeseen things do sometimes crop up, but we try and stress test and go through all those likely scenarios to avoid that ever happening for the customer.
You're reactive when something does go wrong. Anyway, it's not.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a surprise for you, is it?
Exactly, and that's another joy of the business. It's a 24/7 manned operation. Yep. There is physically somebody on shift every minute of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never feel like you're not embraced by Lobina.
Okay.
What's refreshing, of course, as you say, sometimes unforced and unforeseen issues can arise. And what's interesting is I've been in places of work before where a problem arises and everybody's shying away. Nobody wants to stick the head above the parapet. Nobody wants to solve it. At Lobina, everybody wants to solve it.
Yeah. Everybody
wants to because we care.
I'm interested to find out how you support each other. How are you supported in the business when there is pressure? We've just spoken, and you're quite level-headed, which is great.
Yeah.
Are there times where you've seen the rest of the team pressured and stuff? How do you support them? How do they support you?
It's a case of if you're struggling, just ask. There's no judgment if you don't understand something. You just ask someone, and anyone will help in the office. It's not just like for team specific. If, for example, you ask me for help in business development, maybe I couldn't help, but I'd still try and help you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So everyone, it's just a case of asking if you're not sure.
Yeah. Because we all need that little bit of reassurance, or we need that. Just someone else's take on something can help you get beyond a little mental block or something, can't it? Yeah.
In many aspects, not just in logistics, mistakes can happen through a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
People would either not ask for help or assume wrong.
Yeah.
At Lobina, nobody's scared to ask for help, because in a lot of businesses, you ask for help, it's a perceived weakness.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. Look at them.
Yeah.
Not Lobina, there's none of that. You almost embrace asking for help, because we as individuals, we see it as learning. We're two different departments. I'm not afraid to ask for Freya's help because she's been in the business longer than I am.
Yeah.
I'm not immune to the fact that Freya can teach me.
Yeah.
And everybody is of that mindset.
Yeah. From what I see of Lobina, I don't think there's any room for gatekeeping. That linear learning, you have to share.
Yeah, you can't have just one person knowing one thing. That's not healthy. It won't breed growth, and it won't breed development.
Like, the culture is important because it gets the result. So the fact that you all get on, you all have a family vibe, you're all sharing, and all of those sharing the information, all of the things that you've said ends up in great results for the clients.
It does.
And, let's be under no illusion, we're not the only player in this industry. We have competitors.
Yeah.
And what's great for us at Lobina is customers will choose us, not because we can do the job, they'll choose us because it's us. It's Lobina, they're great. A byproduct is, of course, they'll do the job.
Yeah.
That's not questioned. They choose Lobina because it's Lobina.
Yeah.
There's always a way.
You're all on the bus, as Luigi says.
It's the synergy.
There's synergy.
It's the synergy.
Yeah, exactly.
We all know how each other thinks.
Do you worry that the Lobina is just a cult and none of you? And what about your clients, the clients that you interact with? What's your relationship like with those?
If we have a quote, we pick it up, we say, hi, how you doing? How's your Friday? It's nearly the weekend, that kind of thing, and sort of build a relationship that way.
So when you actually get to speak to the clients, that's when you're able to have a rapport.
And that's when they kind of can get the gist of what we are in terms of a business as well.
Yeah.
People buy from people. And okay, they're asking us and many other companies to move the cargo from A to B, But the power of Freya picking up that phone, morning, how are you? What's the weather like where you are? It's lovely here.
Yeah.
You got them engaged.
Yeah.
And then for that customer, it's so much harder for that customer to say no, because she's not saying a no to an email. She's saying no to a person.
Yeah. No, it's true.
The power of rapport is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm always polite, no matter what. I can, and I always try and teach my team members as well. I always, like I do Louis sometimes, I always look at it from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, that's
always.
important.
But telling them, look, you've not thanked them for the request. It's not end of the world, but just make your email better. Do you know what I mean? Just little things.
It's obviously important to you. And that will come through. The customers will feel that as well, because they'll feel valued by being listened to, and the couriers.
But I can tell a story. So I went to one of our automotive customers and I took one of the operators with me, and the power of building that rapport previously, because I could have it was Luca, and I could have taken Luca to the customer, and the customer could have been like, well, here's James and here's his assistant.
Yeah.
As soon as he walked through the door, they didn't care about me. Luca, how are you? Because he's the one doing the transport for them. He's the one building that rapport. So even though they've never met them, they feel like they're friends.
Yeah.
And that's the power of a rapport.
The people that you engage with on a day-to-day basis, they become friends. They become kind of, it's part of your world, isn't it?
Freya doesn't know this yet, so I'm about to tell her now. But I had a meeting with what is now going to be a new customer last week. Freya had never met them. She's never met them, but the customer said, I'm coming back to you because Freya always looks after me. Freya's never met them before. But just from that rapport, from picking up the phone, booking the jobs, building the rapport. It comes back to building the rapport.
Sweet.
There you go. I was saving it for the right moment, and there you go. How many times has Freya tutted at me? She's asked me to write an email. James, you're too professional. And when I first started here, I was like, no, it's got to be. You've got to be. But what I've realised is we're humans.
You throw a joke in there.
So Freya sending an email, it's human.
I think Freya's right. And the reason I think she's right is because it's easy to get kind of Gemini or ChatGPT or any of these to kind of write the thing, but I think you lose that human connection. You lose James in it.
I like to have a bit of faith that I'm able to write an email to someone as well.
Yeah.
I'm not learning if I'm taking a bunch of info that I've asked AI.
And in our line of work, the minute you lose that human connection, you lose the emotion. And the minute you lose the emotion, you lose the ability to close that client, because they've gone from choosing Lobina because the service is great and Freya's great to, I'm just going to go with whoever's faster or slower or cheaper or more expensive.
Yeah, the key is understanding. Understanding what your customer needs and wants.
Okay.
Once you understand that, we will have the right product that can deliver what they need.
Let's be under no illusion, it's the experience that's going to make them come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Period. Because every customer will expect a different service depending on the urgency of the box.
Okay.
If it's routine, just tell me when it gets there. If it's time critical, they want to know every 20 miles. But what Lobina will do, regardless of the urgency, they'll provide the same level of service. It doesn't matter if it's a blue chip company or a local company, they'll be given the same level of service. And the same applies with the urgency and the nature of the cargo as well. It can be a small box or a jet engine. It can get there in 2 weeks, or it needs to get there yesterday. Lobina will still deliver that same level of service.
It's really important that they get that experience, and that's human experience, isn't it? That's what we all value. That's vital to us. Whereas if we take that out and just use technology to sanitize everything,
yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Then you're not going to connect, are you? And you're not going to have a point of difference, like you say. What's the difference between you and any other?
Because this is the problem, right? If every other provider like us revert to AI, we're all the same.
Yeah, you're all the same. You've not got a voice.
What is the point of difference? Yeah.
If you had to say, if you had to say one thing to a client and why they should choose Lobina, what would it be?
When we have a new customer, for example, we kind of say, work with us so that you can see how we treat customers, how we deal with things, rather than saying we can do this, we can do that, because like you say, it's just words in it at the start.
Yeah.
But if we say, just give us a try and see how the whole thing is dealt with.
But what Luigi embeds into the business, and Freya's a great advocate of it, pick the phone up.
Yeah.
Just pick the phone up. And guess what? If they don't answer, say to them, hi, I'm just replying to your email because I couldn't get you via telephone.
Yeah.
They're going to feel compelled to ring you back.
You're not just customers. Reply to the carrier. If they give you an option, reply back, show appreciation, even if they're not going to win it or whatever, because I always say treat them how we want to be treated. If you don't reply, they're not going to quote you next time.
Where do you see yourself within Lobina over the next year, 2 years, 3 years?
Maybe definitely within the few years, if we continue growing as we are. I like to think at some point I'd build myself up to that kind of like team manager level.
Okay.
Because at the minute we have like a monthly kind of personal development meetings.
Yeah.
I'd just like to do a few things in terms of being more confident, in terms of, for example, when an issue comes up in transport, Vidas he attacks it, he jumps on it, but it's never like a negative thing. Oh my God, this is going to ruin the day, blah, blah, blah. He just deals with it, forward thinks, deals with the problem, and I'm trying to do that myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Like slowly, I've started to say, if the problem comes up, I'm saying to Vidas, just can you let me have a look at that, try and deal with it, with his support, obviously.
Yeah.
We really have gone to that next stage now. I think the air freight division, and I think the way the business is going now has really given us that next 5-year kind of plan potentially to really put our boots on the ground and become dominant.
Yeah. Okay. How's that affecting the culture and the psychology of the team? Or is it affecting it in any way?
Everyone's excited, because I think it's very easy to talk about a dream and a goal and a numerical number. But when people start to see the pieces being put in positions to now build towards that, it's adding excitement.
In 12 months, you could say in the next 12 months, I expect at least another several people working for us. Can you see that?
Yeah, definitely.
My dream is to see Nico, Luigi, Vidas, we're all at lunch.
Yeah.
And they're like me now in their own departments. Their job is managing their team, if that makes sense. Not replying to the emails.
Yeah.
So one person, Nico's reporting what their team's done, if that makes sense. Whereas what's happening now is Nico's reporting what his team's done, but what he's done as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
That is 100% coming, and it is very exciting.
And
It'd
the
be
onus
brilliant
is
if we all played golf, wouldn't it? But we don't. None of us play golf.
We haven't got time.